blocker. Swim dodge, fires and scores! Skipping a step, behind the back! Pass, the extra look, and the goal! Shot on goal and good. We welcome you to Syosset Stadium on the campus of Hofstra University, where this afternoon the Varsity Media Sports Network presents the Nassau Class A semifinals. Game 1 pits the 4th-seeded Braves of Syosset against the top-seeded Chiefs of Massapequa. This broadcast is presented by Moe's Southwest Grill. Good afternoon, everyone. Dylan Butler here with the head coach of Oyster Bay High School, Brian Soper. And Brian, you know, I've polled different coaches, and we just before we came on, we saw Bob Hartraft and spoke to Calabria, spoke to Mike Hungerford, various others, just to kind of find out, have they ever seen parity like we see this year between these top 4 seeds? Usually in Nassau A, you've got the alpha, the top team, whether it's a Massapequa in years past or a Syosset, and there's teams chasing that team. What we've seen in the regular season is almost unprecedented, where a goal essentially separates the top 4 seeds.
Being a Class A player myself from Hicksville, I've never seen it like this, so tight, where you have 4 teams, and really the regular season all it did was seeding.
Yeah.
There's really been no movement, right? We kind of have the same 4 teams going in that we expected here, and now this is the best part of the year, playoff time, and that's where you're going to see who's going to have a day, right? Who's going to be the one to be standing here holding the Class A championship.
And as you said, it's all about seeding, right? So Massapequa and Port Washington as the top 2 seeds earned a bye here to Syosset Stadium, and then Syosset and Farmingdale had to play their way in. Both had convincing wins in the quarterfinal round, which brings us now to the Final Four, and I don't think anyone would be surprised if Syosset, a team that has the 4th among that group that struggled, especially in the attack. No surprise if they get in and they win it, right? No surprise if any of these 4 teams ends up lifting the trophy at the end on May 31st.
It comes down to matchups, and you look at the seeds, you look at the players, you start looking at face-offs, you look at goalie, and everything's even, right? A Cardo, the face-off coming into of all the 4 things, you say that's where there's one advantage. But it's playoff season, right? They're the 4th seed, but you see the blonde dyed hair for Syosset and Coach Calabria, right? They're used to this, right? This is playoff time, and the Chiefs, under the leadership of Coach Draper, they want to get back to the top. So just a tremendous matchup on a beautiful night.
Yeah, and in fact, the last time these 2 teams played each other here at Hofstra was the 2019 championship game, which was won by Massapequa. Last time these 2 teams played was late in the regular season. And you see right away the Chiefs jumping on the board. You saw that great pass, tic-tac-toe, Patrick Radomski with the finish. And there's a great job by Michael Durnan kind of staying on the line. Jack DiTomaso gets his hands free. Braves, though, come right back. David Desquie finds Brady Waxer. He stings it from 10 yards in transition. Spencer Newman finds Adam Giovenco. We are tied, but right after that, here's Will Burney with the go-ahead goal. Ended up being the game-winning goal after a successful clear, and Massapequa holds on. That game, for those seeding purposes, Brian, was huge because Syosset had an opportunity to perhaps be the 2 seed, beating a Massapequa team. Massapequa secured the top seed with that win, but if that regular season game is any indication of what we're likely to see here, it will be a barn burner from opening face-off to the last horn.
You want to win this one. Regular season's fine, right, for the seeding and stuff, but all that gets erased with a win here at Hofstra, and just my team just played. We had a heck of an effort out there. There's nothing like the feeling of stepping on the Hofstra turf for a Long Island lacrosse player, and the Syosset guys were woofing, and Massapequa at the midfield line. This is as good as it gets.
Yeah, make no mistake, these 2 teams don't like each other, and it's a long history of that. We saw even in that first matchup a lot of penalties, so it'll be interesting to see, one, how it's officiated, and sort of how these 2 teams toe that line of aggression and then over-aggression. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape between these 2 teams. You can kind of see how similar they are. You see the goals more for Massapequa this year, and that speaks a little bit to what Syosset's been dealing with. It's been That's been the struggle for Syosset. They've been great in goal. They've got solid poles, and they've got the best face-off guy in Nassau A. It's their attack that has faltered at times, and also they've had they've fallen behind in games. And in fact, in that Massapequa loss, they were down 4-0 early. So that's one of the keys. We'll talk about it as we go on. That Calabria mentioned they've got to avoid. But you see here the last meeting, county titles. Listen, these two teams are no strangers to winning the hardwood, and both have played each other on the last day. You see the last championship, Syosset, the defending champions. Massapequa had those 3 in a row back in 2019, and 1-goal games, right? We've talked about 1-goal games throughout Nassau A. That's an important stat here, I think, in the bottom. Massapequa is 5-1 in 1-goal games. Syosset 0-4. Do they change? Does it all that experience in the regular season now turn the tide for the Braves in the postseason? Make no mistake, they are an absolutely dangerous 4th seed.
And I think, talking to Coach Calabria, he thinks that they've gotten so much better over the season. So there's 2 things you can learn from, right? One is that Massapequa's used to playing tight games. They're used to kind of fourth quarter, someone stepping up. We worked the game where Christie scored the game winner. They had 3 games in a row where it was a different guy who won it. And then you have Syosset, who's kind of they've come back before. So I think the start is super important. I think special teams and clearing in 1-goal games, those are the types of things that leave you victorious or on the losing end.
Yeah, Calabria said in our conversation, keys, we need to value the ball, treat every possession like it's precious, and jump out early. We cannot make mistakes that put us in a hole. One guy that we know will put them in good situations, perhaps having more possessions in this game, is Luca Accardo. He's done it all year long. He's our impact player today, really throughout the season. You see those numbers as well as a guy who is not a Fogo, certainly not now. Maybe he will be at High Point, but 31 and 11 for Accardo, and he's really led the charge offensively for the Braves. We expect the same here again today.
Nassau County lacrosse, being an All-American in Nassau County is a huge accomplishment. To be it as a junior and perhaps be in the running for it again. What a career! What else can you say? A do-it-all midfielder for Syosset. The O'Keefes, right? The Cohens, the Accardo, right? So they always have a guy who's looking to lead them, especially in playoff time.
Kincannon, another one as
Tremendous.
Well. Yep. There you see Accardo. We expect him to have a big day at the face-off X, and that's one of the keys as well for Massapequa today. They've got to figure it out at the face-off. Dot. Could it be a pole? We've seen them pole before. Will it be a double pole? Those questions will remain to be answered. Another key for the Chiefs: win the ground, win between the lines, and finish the ball. One guy we know who's done that throughout the season. We know where he'll play his collegiate ball. It's right here at Hofstra. It's Vincent McDermott. He's the leader of this group first midfield line. 32 goals, 27 assists. 24 ground balls as well, shooting 40%. He is the leader of this Chiefs team.
Do-it-all midfielder, 2 ways, right? Those are lofty point totals for a midfielder. And they play well together. It's not like he forces anything. The ball just comes to him. And Massapequa has a squad offensively that shares the ball. They like each other, and they really don't seem to care who it's going to be. But McDermott is a guy you really got to scout and be on the lookout for.
Funny thing about him, and Anthony Malika, true as well, they will play their last high school game regardless here, and they'll continue on and play for Coach Tierney here at Hofstra. That's because the Long Island Championships are here, the state championships are here, right, and the county finals. So they expect certainly to have another, or hope to have another deep run. Let's take a look at the starters for both teams. First for Syosset. And there's always been some changing for these guys, especially in that front 6. You see Newman, Giovinco, and Waxer, the 8th grader. He's had a great start to his varsity career. Your midfield line of Accardo, Desqui, and Birch. Defensive middies, there's a whole ton of them. At long stick midi, it's Freeman. Your defense is Zuleta, Catolo, and Cawley, another freshman in the starting lineup. I should say a freshman because Waxer's an 8th grader. And in the cage is Zach Finkelstein, the junior going to Binghamton. 86 saves on the season. He's been really, really good for John Calabria in his 23rd season at the helm, a 1989 graduate of Sachem High School. And now for The Chiefs of Massapequa, Durnan, Malika, and DiTommaso. Your first midfield line of McDermott, Christie, and Fitzpatrick. Jack Schiffel is your long stick midi, and what an incredible group of Poles they have, especially at close D. D'Alessandro, Valentine, Fountain, all these guys can clear and go and be involved in the attack. They are athletic, they are physical, and in the cage for them is Matt Gennady, who has been also pretty solid this year as well for the Chiefs, and you mentioned their head coach once again in his first year. Mike Draper, no stranger, though, to the Massapequa program, of course, a 1999 graduate of Massapequa. Let's take a quick break. We'll have the opening face-off when we return. It's the Nassau Class A semifinals, and it's all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
We welcome you back to Syosset Stadium. Dylan Butler, Brian Soper here. Nassau Class A semifinals opening face-off. And Accardo wins it. Wow, what a ground ball that he picks up, too. And you see the physicality right away coming up. Pequa comes away with the ball, and now they'll go on attack.
Interesting, on that first face-off, they faced off with a pole. I believe that was Fountain who faced off against Accardo, and Accardo still won it clean.
Yeah, Fountain has been 40% at the face-off X, so he's been the pole of choice for Draper. But now the Chiefs attack. And listen, they would take that, I think, all day. If you can lose the face-off and get the possession, right, that allows you then to score the goals. They work it to X, where it's Aiden Christie. We expect, we gave you those starters. We expect to see a heavy diet of Radomski as well. He'll be a big part of this. He's almost, if he's not like a first line midi, he's like the 1D of that first line, right? Good defense as Accardo doing the work on that side of the ball.
Interesting that it looks like Syosset has only 2 short sticks out there.
Oh, the look in front.
Two poles. They had 4 shorties on there and still were able to get a stop on the defensive end.
That was Durnan unable to finish it. And this is one of the things that Draper talked about, how dangerous Syosset is in transition, as that shot by Giovinco went wide.
For me, Giovinco's the guy. We know about Accardo. Syosset needs to find that secondary scoring, so good chance for him to shoot there. Just shot a little bit high.
There's Ryan Voigt out of the box. Ooh, and a slash, and feeling that. No foul call. That was Disqui. He looks like he's going to try to hang in there, but got one in on the hands.
I think it might have been a little cup check.
Giovinco now. Bodies. Looks for options. Hands off. There's Birch. Swings. Nothing doing. Good work by Jack Schiffel, the LSM. They go crease. First shot, or first save of the game, goes to Gennady.
Good save, read the stick, went down low, got it. It was a good backdoor cut by Syosset, and a good one more pass, gave him a good opportunity. But Gennady, that first save is so important for a goalie. He gobbled that thing up and led the clear.
That was Disqui with the opportunity. So the Chiefs now back on attack, and there is Malika. Again, one of 2 Hofstra commits here for the Chiefs.
Interesting to see the matchups. You know, Massapequa runs those three middies at you, and it's tough to defend and see how they match up at the midfield with who's gonna get the pole.
Bernie hands off, looking to pass the ball, but out of his stick was McDermott. He recovers, and he is being harassed by one of the poles. That's Logan Friedman, the LSM. McDermott tries to spin away from Friedman, gets it to X, and out to Malika. future Pride teammates.
Good job by Syosset defensively. They're really tight, right? They're kind of working together as a unit. So good start for the Syosset defense.
Malika hands off, shot by Radomski, and that's wide of the mark. But that's his office right there. They're in the crease, the high crease. Radomski is so deadly from there.
He finds that little sweet spot in between the defense and is able to read guys who are sliding. And if you take your eye off him for a second, right, he's looking to bang that ball in the back of the net.
Early goings here of the first of two Nassau Class A semifinals on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Dylan Butler, Brian Soper with you here from the home office of Long Island Championship Lacrosse, Hofstra Stewart Stadium. Malika at X. He's got Disqui on him, so he's got the short stick matchup. Pops it up top. Switching to his left and firing wide was Bernie.
So Syosset looking like they're short sticking Malika. Malika with a great little skip pass. Bernie, nice move to the middle, just shot it high.
Durnan off the restart.
Now, look, that's two shots by Massapequa that, looking, you'd like them to bury those.
Off the pick, Christie bouncer, and that is also wide of the mark. Christie's a guy who certainly they hope his shooting percentage increases here in the postseason. Only 29% during the season. Lefty shot, good save early on. That was Radomski stinging it. And a good first save as well by Finkelstein.
Good move by Radomski, little split dodge to the middle. Finkelstein, top hand drive to the ball. Great save by him.
Turnover, though, for Syosset off of the Massapequa ride. And that's usually Syosset's calling card, right, is their ride. So Massapequa kind of gave one to them.
You don't like seeing that, right? Making a save and then all of a sudden you're clearing it, you turn it over. You can't give a team like Massapequa multiple opportunities.
And Brian, too, you're putting so much more pressure now on your defense, right? They've been defending for a long time. There's that one shot on Cage, but you've had 3 or 4 other shots. A little physicality there at the box with a couple guys colliding on their way out. That's what you get in this rivalry.
Guys were changing, and guys were standing there not letting guys get through. Hempstead Turnpike, little collision.
There's our first flag of the game. The flags will be something that is going to be important in this one. A lot of them in that regular season matchup. Brian, I want to say something like 12 combined. It was a little bit out of control between these two teams in that game at Syosset. So a delayed penalty against the Braves. The Chiefs have had some looks at the cage, only one, though, on frame. They work it around the perimeter. 22 is Di Tommaso. Play and catch at X. There's the rip. And, did it get in? It did! It snuck its way through. Christie with the opening goal.
Syosset was playing zone. Massapequa was super patient. They moved it around. They got a step down by Christie. Finkelstein makes a great initial save. See Christie step into the seam here in the zone. Boom, lets it rip. Good save with the top hand. And that's just super, super unfortunate for Finkelstein. You got to shake that off. Yeah, that's a save in my book. Shake it off, get the next one. Win the face-off here and get one for yourself, Syosset.
So on top of that, now you do get a 1-minute slash against the Braves. So you concede the goal, and now you're also down, your man down for the next minute.
Double whammy,
yeah.
For sure.
This is where Accardo could be so huge, right? You win the opening face-off. You win this one as well, it looks like. But no, great job by the Poles coming through.
Fountain playing the wing here. That's a good move. Weiserick and Fountain, 2 really good poles, trying to neutralize Accardo at the face-off X.
Massive face-off win for Massapequa there because you do now get the possession. Accardo wins that. Essentially, you could hold on to the ball for a minute and kill off the penalty against you.
So Syosset, this is their SEAL team named after a friend of John Calabria at Delphi who passed away in a surfing accident. They take great pride in their man-down team, so you hear them chanting SEAL, 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 and they're looking to get a stop.
McDermott up top to DiTommaso. Nice look to Radomski. Dito gets it back. Radomski. The step-down shot was wide of the mark by Christie.
Little wheel on the backside, maybe one more step higher so you get a better angle there for Christie. Finkelstein was there, right, locking down that pipe.
Penalty is up, and we're even now. So good job by the aforementioned SEAL team getting that first kill. DiTommaso. Possession is so heavily slanted right now to Massapequa. There's big Anthony Malika, lefty, great outside shooter, probably the fastest shot on this Massapequa team. Great hands for a big man. He works at the X. Little inside roll, perhaps. Stings it low, and that's wide of the mark.
Syosset is in some sort of zone look, I think, there, or they were not. They slid early a couple of times, did not slide early there. They let Malika sit in kind of a post-up situation.
McDermott up top. He is pulled by Zuleta. 3:44 left in this first quarter. Just that one goal by Christie separating these two teams, which, again, is kind of as we expected. There's only been a goal separating the top four teams throughout the year. Good move, goal line extended. And they'll say a crease violation, so it will be Syosset ball.
Good defense there by Syosset. McDermott looked like he was going to invert and tried to get underneath, kind of kept his stick exposed, and the short stick was able to knock it out.
So Syosset will have a rare opportunity now to be on attack, and I think it's a chance now for them to probably just pass the ball around a little bit, right? At least give those poles a chance to get some rest, some water perhaps, and give these guys on this side of the field a chance to just sort of get to know each other again. It's been a long time since they've had the ball. There is Accardo. Ooh, nearly intercepted. Good ground ball picked up by Birch. And that's another thing that Massapequa, Brian, does so well. All of these polls, not just one guy, they all get their sticks in the passing lanes. And whoa, what a shot! No goal, though. It is crease violation on Giovinco.
Good check by Alessandro there. Great effort just in the crease.
And Giovinco trying his best to be a one-man ride there and take his frustrations out on every chief that he can get. Massapequa, though, does get the clear. So not what you wanted there for Syosset. A short possession with a goal called off the board for a crease violation.
Giovinco went hard to the net. You like to see that. Good check. Just unfortunate that, he found his way into the crease.
Massapequa has been knocking on the door throughout this first quarter. Only that one goal to show to this point. Little two-man game at X. Here's Radomski. The feed in front. That was a tough look, though, because Durnan was double-teamed.
Good defense by Syosset, covering that crease, looking for the backside. Definitely a force, right? Definitely a force there. You'd like to maybe move that up top and then let the guy from up top make that pass.
Cawley lost it, and now it's a ground ball battle. He gets it back. He's hammered by a couple of Chiefs. Syosset guys want a flag, and there is one thrown in front of their bench. So it will be the first man-up opportunity now for Syosset. Let's take a look at the call. So it's just a 30-second interference penalty.
Calabria and the staff of Syosset, they want two flags. They want the trip there, but they get one. So this is a good opportunity for Syosset to settle in here and try to score in the extra man.
So it'll be a 30-second man-up opportunity for Syosset.
Definitely got to find Accardo.
There he is.
And Giovinco, right? Those are the two guys if you're Massapequa looking for something set up on the man up.
There's Accardo, skips it. Step down, another nice save. Gennady all over that one.
That's how you draw it up, right? Nice skip pass by Accardo. Gennady 2 for 2, right? Good start for him. Good save.
Disqui took it over and will stay with Syosset.
Interference call there by Brendan Wallace. Gives the ball back to Syosset.
Penalty is up, though, so we are even as Syosset looks to even the score. There's Accardo now. Turns, kicks it back out to Birch, the Manhattanville commit. Senior has 16 goals and 5 assists on the season. Here is Accardo. Wants a pick. Will get one by Disqui. Tries to get topside. Harassed the whole time. 13 seconds left in this first quarter. Now he does get topside. Shot actually hit Waxer behind the cage. He gets the ground ball with 5. Turning, firing. That's side netting by Birch. And that does it for the first quarter. A 1-goal game.
Shocker.
What a surprise, Brian Soper. It is Massapequa with the 1-0 lead. Second quarter coming up right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Here, fresh is what we do. From daily made faves like guac to mouth-watering protein like all-natural white meat chicken. Go ahead, crave, customize, and enjoy with your free chips and salsa. Roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
We are back at Hofstra's Stewart Stadium for the start of the second quarter as Massapequa has a 1-0 lead on Syosset. Dylan Butler, Brian Soper here. We also want to thank another one of our sponsors, Bethpage Federal Credit Union. BethpageFCU.com. We care about what you care about. Brian, kind of the quarter we expected, right? Where I think the only difference being only those 2 face-offs, right? And Accardo split them. So that's a win for Massapequa. Obviously, they've got the 1 goal as well. So, and they've got a couple big saves early from Gennady in addition.
Yeah, it's 1-0, but kind of a fluky goal if you think about it. I think Syosset's gotten some good looks offensively. Massapequa probably wants a few of those shots back where they can hit the net and bury it. But both goalies seem to be locked in. So perhaps a low-scoring game here at Hofstra.
Accardo tries to go backwards, and now it's that rugby scrum for that ground ball. Who comes away? It is Accardo, at least for a second. And Massapequa ends up calling a timeout. Off of that scrum, you saw Di Tommaso come up with the ball. So listen, that's part of what they want to do, the Chiefs. They want to muck things up on the faceoff. So you saw Accardo win it backwards, but as soon as he did, he got the slash by the pole. And then once everyone else converges, that's advantage Massapequa.
You'll take that all day if you're Massapequa. Good ground ball by Di Tommaso. Draper calls a timeout. That first possession of the second quarter is really important. He'd love to get one here.
I want to show you the history a little bit here, at least the last 10 years of the Nassau Class A championship, and we see a lot of Syosset, a lot of Massapequa, a lot of dyed hairdos there for the Braves. And you see, of course, they are the defending champions. Before that, you go 3 in a row by Massapequa, then back-to-back for Syosset, back-to-back for Massapequa, Syosset, and then Farmingdale in there as well. So 3 of our 4 Final Four teams, certainly at least the recent history of winning it all. Port Washington has got a couple of championships, but you have to go back to 1995 for their last one.
That's amazing seeing Syosset and Massapequa so much in there. We couldn't add 1997 to the bottom. Hicksville Comets, Brian Soper, Keith Cromwell, all the boys.
Funny.
Syosset comes out in a zone, right? Call a timeout. Maybe Massapequa was drawing up a play for man. You come out in zone, right? Trying to keep them off guard.
There's Durnan. McDermott up top for Christie. See the aggression there by Catolo. If he gets a cause turnover, he can run for days.
So it's a zone, but it's definitely not a passive one. It's super aggressive, getting out on hands, right? Trying to speed them up, and maybe you get them to force something inside. So Massapequa was really patient, kind of like a sideways 3-3 look.
Oh, what a look to the cage. The first fake by Durnan, but then the save was made by Finkelstein.
Not today, Finkelstein says, right on the doorstep. Great stop, good skip pass to Durnan. Matching stick on stick. Finkelstein, great save. Definitely forget about that one that trickled in. He just evened that one up.
There's Zuleta. Gets it to Disqui. And Syosset looking to equalize here. And certainly as Disqui bounces it, that's wide. Backup was there. One of the things that Calabria said, as we mentioned at the start of the show, was not getting into that hole, right? And they've kind of, not just this matchup in the regular season, but others as well, where they've had to climb uphill so much during a game. And so far, so good on that portion of it. They've not killed themselves, really, and fallen into a big hole, although there, as I say that, is a turnover on an attempted pass from Disqui to Accardo.
As a coach, I think you're right. I think it's 1-0, but the next goal is really big. 2-0 or 1-1, I think, is big for the mindsets for both teams.
Good job there by the Chiefs not forcing something off the turnover. As we just saw Kevin Fiola come out, and now it allows your regular personnel on as out of the box. We see Bernie. He's the one who had the game winner in the regular season. Going to Stony Brook is the junior midi. And there's Radomski as well. Sienna Bounds Jr. as well.
More of a man-to-man look on this possession by Syosset. Massapequa got a good look on that skip last time, so now Calabria going back to man. I think it was more that they came out of the timeout and wanted to show zone and kind of try to trick them there.
Here is Durnan. He's pulled up top to Bernie. Bernie and Radomski, at least momentarily, there's a bouncer, both with short stick matchups. And that's one of the things when you defend against Massapequa that makes it so hard, because there isn't, somebody's got to not have a pull, and that guy can absolutely score the ball.
All of those guys, as a coach, you want to pull on all of them, but
yeah,
you run out of pulls quickly. Nice move by Bernie getting to the middle. Nice, really brings that back for that overhand bounce shot. Just shot it wide.
There's Di Tommaso off the screen, loses it. Good stick check. Great ground ball by Catolo. You credit Cawley, I think, with the cause turnover, and now the Braves look to run.
Good check by the freshman. Great ground ball by their senior leader down there. That's what it takes. You got it. If you get a stop, you got to get it out. You can't give Massapequa multiple chances.
Voigt's coming out of the box, going right to the cage. And there is kind of the X factor for the Syosset Braves, right? Giovinco. Birch. He's got the shorty matchup. Birch tries to go low to high. It's very high.
Just a bit outside. Used to be football here, right? That would have been through the uprights. Little elevator shot there.
Oh, Giovinco absolutely hammered. Never saw D'Alessandro coming. That was the number 4 bust from Massapequa coming right at you.
Football guy.
100%.
Football guy saw the opportunity and just showed him a little bit of who's boss there.
And you love too the job the referees do there. That's a clean check, but how often do we see that physicality just because it's the physicality, a flag goes. This is a veteran crew, though. It's a great no call there on that hit.
I think as a coach, you start to tell your team, you recognize that, how it's being called, and, perhaps, ramp up your aggressiveness and your physicality.
Well, you don't have to tell these two teams that, right? They will absolutely turn their aggression to 11. So now Massapequa, and again, we here in the booth, maybe we'll have the great Joe Giannotti have this stat, we're not sure, but the time of possession is heavily slanted for the Chiefs. Another shot, that one on frame by Bernie, and another save again by Finkelstein.
Little chicken wing save by Finkelstein. You're a little, get that elbow up. Great stop in tight.
Oh, what a look. Absolutely no angle for Durnin. He doesn't care. Stings it. Top shelf, and the Chiefs extend their lead to 2-0.
Shooters shoot. Great spot. Right, you see the look back here. Right, little backside, steps in, low angle, takes an extra step up there, and shoots it short side. That's a tremendous, tremendous shot.
Durnin's 21st goal of the year, shooting 58% on the season. Christie gets the assist. He's got 1 and 1.
I think that's important. Durnin seems to be like a little more aggressive this game, and because you're so focused on the midfield for Massapequa, those attackmen are going to get opportunities to shoot and score.
Let's take a look again at number 4. Listen, when you're a pole, this is what you love, right? You know the guy. Watch 4 here. Boom. Right? Didn't go high. Kept his arms down, right? No foul, and that's, again, what D'Alessandro brings. And that's what you mentioned as well. You've not only got him, but you've got Fountain, you've got Valentine. All those guys are football guys. They're all, and they're not just like, they're guys who are receivers and deep, so like they can run the field, right? So you get the physicality, and then you get the athleticism. I mean, it's a perfect combination for Draper with his poles.
Defensively, I think they all complement each other very well. You have some Fountain and a little more polished, and you got D'Alessandro who's the athlete, and that's just running into a brick wall there. He's just standing there, and that's just weight room and all that stuff that football brings to a program. There's Massapequa's success lacrosse-wise parallels their football success, and I know Farmingdale's the same way.
Yeah.
And those two sports together with the weight room and strength is just super important to have those two-way guys.
Back to the face-off X, which you'd say kind of surprisingly, at least early on, has been advantage Massapequa. They've won 2 out of the 3 against the guy in Accardo who has been 70+% at his craft.
Double pole for the Chiefs. He's so quick on that clamp.
And I think that's going to be the key for Accardo, right? We saw earlier, he won it, pushed it back, but then lost it, right? Maybe he's got to win it right at himself, right? Like he can't force to push it back. And meanwhile, yet again, a turnover on this side of the field. So you get what you want from Accardo, but you don't get the possession.
Perhaps a little frustration there, right? He won it to himself. Coach Calabria's probably going to tell him coming off, you know what, pull that out. Let's get a possession. Let's not force it, right? Possessions are so important in this game, especially down 2. You don't want to go down 3.
Big possession here in the final 6 minutes of this second quarter. Because if you do go down 3, Brian, this is exactly what Calabria said he didn't want his team to do, right? Get into that early hole and also have it be, and you credit the polls, obviously, in the defense for Massapequa, but somewhat self-inflicted as well.
It takes so much energy to get back into games that by the time you get to the third and fourth quarter, sometimes you can gas out.
Christie missed that. Good job by Pequa sending 2 to that loose ball because they knew that Zoletta was coming hunting for it, as McDermott has it now. McDermott on Friedman. Looks to back him down, kicks it back out.
This midfield is scary. Fitzpatrick, Christie, and McDermott.
And that's the thing is, oh, what a great cut. Just wide, though, by Fitzpatrick. He made the move. He had to pump the brakes at the crease. And I don't think maybe he necessarily had his body control right as he took that shot.
Yeah, you'd love to see one more step there if he could to finish in front of that net.
And this Massapequa attack, and when I say attack, I say all of these 6 guys, they're kind of faceless in that sense, right? And interchangeable. There's the inside roll and another save as well. The shot was by Christie, and Finkelstein, another save.
Huge stops. I've seen this script before. Finkelstein keeping them in games, and hopefully they can figure it out.
You got to get the clear now. Finkelstein gets it up ahead. A great job by him. And now here comes Voigt. They've got numbers. That shot went off of a pole. Giovinco had the shot. Went off the back of Valentine.
Back to that previous save. Good move by Christie. They didn't slide on the invert, and the inside rolled, and Finkelstein stood tall, making a huge save.
Disqui comes out of the box for Syosset. And here is Birch up top. He's got the short stick matchup. Birch right into the stick of Gennady. Gennady, though, his attempted clearance gets out in the field. Look out. Bodies flying. And a great timeout by Calabria. He had Cotolo with his back to his bench with Pequa guys all around him. All they needed to do was push him out. Good decision there by Calabria with 3:30 left here in this first half.
I knew it was coming. I was ready to yell timeout up here. The coach and me. Need a better shot there, right? Bad shots lead to outlets. That was a bit of a popcorn save there for Gennady. But, hey, 0 goals. I think he has 3 or 4 saves, right, doing what he's got to do. And if going into the half, if there's a 0 on the board for Syosset, you're going to be super happy.
This game 1 of 2, our second matchup, pits the second-seeded Vikings against the third-seeded Dalers. They met in the regular season. Guess what? 1-goal game between those two teams as well. It was a win at Farmingdale, which, again, you know, I think Massapequa's win at Farmingdale and then Port Washington's win at Farmingdale is what probably the biggest reason why those two teams are the 1 and 2 seeds in this playoffs.
That game was a tale of 2 tapes, too. It was one half Farmingdale dominated that game, then Vikings come back. So, you know, just like Calabria doesn't want to fall behind here, Port Washington definitely doesn't want to fall behind early in that one.
Zuleta.
Good job by Calabria and Syosset to come out with a clear and pretty easy get it over there. Last thing you want to do is call a timeout and lose it on the clear.
Voigt harassed, gets it to Accardo. The passes, and I think you probably do credit the Poles of Massapequa again for their ability to get in the passing lane. The passes haven't been crisp for the Braves in this game.
Massapequa's pushing out, and, you know, Syosset needs to, like, run or shorten those passes to try to handle that pressure by Massapequa.
Here's Accardo. You talk about matchups. How about Weiserick on him?
Tremendous-looking sophomore.
Here's Voigt. Good size on the senior. Lowers the shoulder. Keeps going with 2:33 left. Passes it at X. Turning, firing, and off of a Chiefs defender. And that is the one who ended up getting to the ball. Great job by Connor Enright, the defensive midi. And now Pequa will call timeout.
Good shot there. 8th grader Waxer did take that. He took that extra step upfield. Good shot on net. Interesting timeout by Coach Draper. We've done a couple of his games, and he's definitely not, afraid to take timeouts in his defensive end, and shows you how important he values the clearing game.
I want to thank our sponsors here today. Of course, Moe's Southwest Grill. 15 Long Island locations. Odds are wherever you are on the island, there will be a Moe's not far from you. Moe's.com. You want to get those catering orders, right? You got graduation parties, Memorial Day coming up. Get your orders in on Moe's.com. bethpagefcu.com. Also want to thank Bethpage Federal Credit Union. We care about what you care about. bethpagefcu.com. Dylan Butler, Brian Soper here with you. 2:28 left in this first half. A 2-goal lead for the Chiefs in this historic kind of rivalry. There's a lot of them on the island, which is what you love about this sport. And this is one of them right now because and then we showed you before the history of championships. Now the teams that won, a lot of times they're playing the other one in these games, right? As we said in 2019, last game here, it was Massapequa beating Syosset on this field. Syosset's done the same to the Chiefs. So, not only do you have that natural rivalry, but when you play big games, now that adds to it as well.
Massapequa comes out, gives the ball to McDermott. One man clear here for the Hofstra commit. Pretty easy getting it out.
Probably pretty easy too for Tierney, right? To get McDermott. I think that's in the neighborhood, right? You see him probably at the local supermarket. Hey, buddy, you want to come? You want to come to Hofstra?
If you're gonna have a pipeline in a high school on Long Island, Massapequa is a good one to have on your list.
Absolutely. And his son, of course, one of the greatest to play at Massapequa and play here as well for the Pride.
That's one thing that's great about the PLL now is that you have these Class A Nassau guys, and now you can watch it on TV, and kids who watch them play in high school can see them now play in the pros and aspire to be just like them.
Christie will play a 2-man game here at X. And it would appear, I'm not sure though with 1:30 left, but certainly a patient set here by the Chiefs. Great look in front, towing the line, and the finish. We just saw that in our highlights. Almost a carbon copy. It's Durnan with his second, and the Chiefs now have a 3-goal lead.
Invert Christie. Good things always seem to happen when it's in his stick. Going left-handed here. Not really a pick. Gets a step. Slide. Finish. Durnan finish. His second goal. Right there for Syosset, you get the 1 slide. The 2 slide needs to get down to that crease. Wasn't there. Was late. Good patience by Durnan. Easy finish.
And we showed you, again, those highlights of the regular season matchup. Durnan, the same goal, right, where he has the recognition of where he is, where the crease is, kind of toes that line and finishes the ball. Accardo, just as he did in the last one, the win just to himself. Didn't push it back, didn't push it forward with those double pulls.
Syosset needs a goal. 1 minute to go. Get a little momentum into the half. Let's see what they can get on net.
Voigt up top as we are now under a minute left in this first half. And you can't really say it's been a dominant first half by Massapequa, but again, this side of things has been a struggle for the Braves. Wrapping around behind the back, Janadia save again on Giovinco. They chase it down though, and the loose ball goes to Syosset. An errant pass though, and it's picked off. And we've got a whistle. It'll stay with Syosset.
Giovinco behind, little Lyle Thompson type shot. Gennady again there for the save. When asked, he's been ready and stood tall for the Chiefs.
Here's Disqui with 22. Oh, what a great stick check from behind. Will Burney. And here comes Burney with 10 seconds. Burney, the look to the pole. It's loose in front. Catolo comes away with 5. And we'll have an interference call. It'll be Chiefs ball here with 5 seconds left. Durnan wants to get things started quickly. Stings it low, and the bouncer goes wide of the cage with 1 second left.
You saw Burney, that two-way midfielder. That's why he's going to Stony Brook. Disqui, right, hung that stick, allowed for Burney to pick it up, and they got a good look with less than 20 seconds to go.
And Malika was making sure there's no goalie goals here today. Got in on that attempted heave downfield by Finkelstein to end this first half. Massapequa and Aiden Christie leading the way for them. A goal, 2 assists. Durnan with a couple of goals as well. and they've been good at the face-off X as well. All of that equates to a 3-0 lead for Massapequa going into the second half. We'll take a quick break, get you some halftime stats and the start of the second half as well. It's the Nassau Class A semifinals, and it's all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
When your crew shows up, you show out. Order catering from Moe's to feed any occasion. With fresh, high-quality ingredients, craved by all. From customizable nacho and fajita bars to individually packaged burrito boxes. For 10 of your friends or a fiesta of 500. Plus, we'll even set it up. Now that's good times. Roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
The weekends are great and all, but we have something they don't. Our Mo Monday burrito deal. Enjoy your favorite burrito or bowl, plus free chips and salsa, all at a great price. We love Mo Mondays. Roll all in to Mo's Southwest Grill.
Parents and athletes, why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your future. Varsity Media has been producing college recruiting videos since 2010. We understand what college coaches are looking for, and our attention to detail on your highlights will separate your resume from others. Stand out from the crowd. We'll help showcase your talents. Contact Varsity Media today and order a college recruiting video. Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Thunder, and what a look!
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Shows up, you show out. Order catering from Moe's to feed any occasion. With fresh, high-quality ingredients craved by all. From customizable nacho and fajita bars to individually packaged burrito boxes. For 10 of your friends or a fiesta of 500. Plus, we'll even set it up. Now that's good times. Roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Welcome back to Syosset Stadium on the campus of Hofstra University. Second half moments away as the Chiefs in this first of two Nassau Class A semifinals have a 3-0 lead over Syosset. Dylan Butler, Brian Soper with you here from the booth, and we'll take a look at some of our first half stats. And honestly, other than the score, pretty close, right? You would say when you look at some of these numbers, 16-11, the shot edge for Massapequa, 8-4 on frame. So 5 saves for Finkelstein, 4 for Gennady. See the face-offs, which we thought would be slanted heavily for Syosset, has been relatively even, right? Where Ricardo won 3 of his 5. Both teams 0 for 1 in the man up. Ground balls, I was surprised at this number because Massapequa has been so good getting the ball, but it's 16-9. What we don't have here are a couple other ones to tell you. 8-7 in terms of turnovers. Syosset has 8. Massapequa has 7 in clears, the all-important clears. Both teams pretty good at it. 6 of 8 for Syosset and 7 of 8 for Massapequa.
Syosset needs a goal. You see 16 ground balls, not leading to any goals on the scoreboard. First goal of this second half is huge. Syosset needs to get one. Chiefs stretch it to 4-0. You're looking at digging out of that hole that Coach Calabria desperately did not want to do.
And they're getting the goalie play, and again, the face-offs are fairly even. Both teams obviously 0 for 1 as well on the man up. We thought maybe it would be more man up opportunities, and you see some of our first half highlights here as well.
So you see this, you see the slide Inside roll. This is a big save coming up, right? Good save there. Syosset has shown sometimes they slide early, sometimes they've not slid. So as an offensive player, you got to kind of read it and communicate offensively. When they did slide, Durnan was there on the doorstep to finish that one. If Syosset's going to slide, they need to get that 2 slide. They've been getting the 1 slide. They're not getting that 2 slide to stuff the crease.
Durnan with 2 goals in that first half, and Aiden Christie with 1 and 2 as well. And obviously no goals for Syosset, so we'll see sort of how that changes things here. You always wonder, and you're a head coach and you're in these huddles, what the adjustments are made at halftime for either of these 2 teams. One thing that I will note, and I don't know if it's going to affect this game at all, but some cloud cover coming now. Is a beautiful sunny day for your game, for the start of this one as well, and there is some rain in the forecast, so let's see maybe if that affects things here. Tic-tac-toe, what a kick save by Gennady early on. Stopping, I think it was Disqui in front.
I was going to say, what a great start. Clean win by Accardo on the faceoff. Another one more pass. Huge save. Kick it out. Right, get it out of here. Right, great save, Gennady. That's 5 for him. No goals. Unbelievable.
Skip pass. Another one for Gennady.
6.
That was on Javinko. Low to high. That's wide by Disqui.
I love what I'm seeing by Syosset. I think when Massapequa is going to pressure you and they're going to be in your face, meet pressure with pressure, put the gas pedal down, get some shots on net, and let's get some energy. Let's get some energy to this game, some flow offensively.
And you wonder here with these kind of, especially these back-to-back saves now by Gennady, how much will he get into the heads a little bit of an attack that has struggled throughout the year? Never mind that, says the 8th grader, Brody Waxer. Bounces it in near post, and there is that big goal that Syosset has been looking for.
8th grade in the middle school, scoring a goal at Hofstra, the first one for the Braves. Little change up. You said matchup. What was going to be the moves, the difference? Waxer came out and played midfield. He came out of the box, got a little short stick matchup there. Shoot. You got to shoot. Sometimes I watch a lot of high school games and guys pass up on shots. You got to make goalies make saves, and snuck that one in there. Boy, did Syosset need that one. And from an 8th grader, that's a spark.
On another one there for Ricardo. He does all the hard work, and now you've got to worry about a 50-50 battle for a ground ball, and it will be Massapequa ball. So you do your job, and you try to get a pass across the other way, but it ends up being a turnover. So now Massapequa, their first offensive possession of the second half. And here is Durnan with 2 goals. He's got Catolo on him. Kicks it out to Fitzpatrick, the junior going to LIU, who is essentially a twin of McDermott. And we know Fitzpatrick has been big in big moments this year as well for the Chiefs.
So invert by Fitzpatrick. I was watching off ball. Gomez, the short stick, immediately switched the McDermott matchup, so you got a double pull at the midfield.
Fitzpatrick.
And Munoz is guarding Malika, and now you're going to see an invert here by Malika. Coach Calabria, they seem fine with this. Malika, I thought Munoz had a really good first half, and they seem very content with him playing on-ball defense here.
Yeah, there's about 3 or 4 different D middies you kind of throw at the Chiefs. Munoz, one of them. You got Joe Gagliardo as well as Evan Ostrander, the freshman. Blowing a tire there for a moment was McDermott. Still has the ball, though. McDermott to the cage. Behind the back. Shot was saved, I believe, or certainly was off the mark. And here comes Syosset.
Definitely think Finkelstein got a piece there. Good job by McDermott, spinning out of a double team. Downhill, good little tricky shot there, good save. 3-2 would be nice for the Braves here.
So Finkelstein will give him his 6th save of the game after those 5 in the first half. Waxer was so big in that comeback at home against Massapequa late in the regular season. Here's Birch up top. Birch switches to his left. Waxer thought going low to high for a moment. They go up top to Voigt. Voigt steps down and scores! Ryan Voigt. It is a 1-goal game.
Syosset, throughout the year, you would figure out your team. You figure out what you got, and you see that Voigt and Waxer, both attackmen, are now playing at the midfield, and you get a short stick. This game is about attacking shorties, right? Nothing's fancy there. Go right, shoot the ball, back of the net, 3-2. Great start to this half by the Braves.
Voigt, the senior, his 6th goal of the year. Birch gave him the ball, and it's a 3-2 game now. And another win for Ricardo. He's starting to get into a rhythm, Brian.
Let's see if he can score one on offense, too.
Giovinco.
That will really spark the Braves.
Nothing doing there for the latest Giovinco. Brothers Andrew and Alex both have been part of this program. Andrew at Stony Brook, Alex at Jacksonville. A year ago, Giovinco was that 4th attackman on a team that had some ridiculous ability with Puetti and Alexander. But now he's kind of being asked to be the guy, and he scores here to tie it! 3-3, Giovinco with the goal.
Little Selly in front of the bench. The Braves are fired up. Sometimes you just got to win a matchup. They're pressuring, pressure with pressure, right? Attack. A little passive in the first half. A little dummy pick there. Just get topside. D'Alessandro trails, gets to that left hand. Like you said, lefties, Syosset.
And here's something to note, too. We weren't sure we would see him, and we know that he's been banged up all year. But in this second half, you see Dylan Stadler. He's the one who set that screen behind the net. He's been banged up, bit of a hip injury. I think even his gait still isn't quite what he hopes it to be. But listen, he is looking to go out here. He's a junior, but you could see how he wants the ball out here at the end of the season. Loose ball. Chiefs come away. Can they get the response? Bernie turns. Overhead shot off the bar. Catolo with the ground ball. And now things are heating up. It's opening it up here for both teams.
Up and down, back and forth, little NASCAR. Fast, pedal to the metal.
Stadler is limping, and you wonder how much is he just kind of going to be a decoy, right? Because you know his ability. He's going to Marist. You've got to defend him.
So you see, why dodge the Massapequa poles when you can dodge their shorties? So we've seen Syosset come out in the second half really attacking the short sticks.
Waxer up top. Voigt, we know he can sting it. That shot high and wide.
Just a different feel to Syosset offensively. They're ready to pull the trigger. Got a little confidence.
Voigt up top. Step down shot was wide of the mark by Waxer.
So Stadler still gets the respect of a pole, and it frees up another guy to get a short stick, and he's just seemingly working inside. He could definitely catch and finish, you gotta fight with your best guys, and I'm sure he's been begging to get in there and to give it a go.
Yeah, I'm not sure what percentage you'd put at his health right now, but yeah, listen, you've got to respect him and his ability, and it's good to just see him out on the field, right? He's been really limited this year. He's had a few starts and stops and back into the trainer's room. See how much this maybe impacts the Braves here in the second half.
Could be a Willis Reed moment.
Waxer to Disque on the skip pass, and that shot was wide. Timeout is called by Syosset. I don't want to use the cliche, but we'll say it is certainly, I don't know if I want to say it's necessarily completely a tale of two halves, but a great start certainly for the second half for the guys here in red.
Syosset's aggressive. They're shooting the ball. Coach Draper, feels it. He feels the offensive flow, energy by Syosset. Calls a timeout in the defensive end. do not be shocked if you want a little wager here if Coach Draper is going to come out in the zone.
All right. Well, this is only game 1 of 2. We've got the nightcap coming up. It will be the Dalers and the Vikings, 2 more teams who don't have the Christmas cards exchanged between the 2 of them. We saw a pretty heated first regular season matchup. Again, a 1-goal game between those 2 teams. That should be a lot of fun here. A lot of high-level guys, right? Woodland and Haberman and Freeman and Bolello. It's going to be a lot of fun when these 2 teams lock horns here tonight.
You see Coach Calabria, when he takes that hat off, he's super serious. He's been bouncing around in both huddles. He's got to be super happy. If Massapequa comes out in the zone, I don't think it's a bad idea for Syosset to get a possession, right? Wind this thing down. If you're 3-3 at the end of this quarter, and after coming out 3-0, you got to be pretty pumped up if you're Syosset.
Off the timeout, ball in the stick of Giovinco. Right in his mug is number 4, Michael D'Alessandro. Giovinco works a 2-man game at X. Head up, looks for options.
Got a shorty.
He does now have the shorty. And the slide doesn't look like it's coming. Now it does. He might have a guy hung up. Great look in front. Waxer, saved by Gennady.
Huge stop. 5:18 to go. Great skip look by Giovinco. Waxer's there on the backside. Stuffed by Gennady. He said, not today.
Save number 7 for Gennady.
That's just a huge reactive save. That's drills and doing stuff, in practice where you kind of go pipe to pipe. That's tremendous athleticism to get from one side of the cage to the other.
Here's Di Tommaso. Great lacrosse lineage for Jack Di Tommaso. Kicks it back out to McDermott. And here's Christie, 1 and 2 on the day for Aiden Christie. Tries to duck under a check, switches to his left, back to his right, and gets it to X.
He's such a tough cover. He plays with both hands so well, and you just never know which way he's going.
Di Tommaso goal line extended. Pumps the brakes at X. Here comes the pain in Catolo.
Quick slide there to the short, from the foot to the short stick. He definitely brings the heat when he slides.
McDermott now. What you like to see, Brian, if you are a Syosset fan, is Catolo has been reined in. We've seen him take some penalties this year, and there is a penalty. Rebound, shot, and a goal. Di Tommaso with the finish. It will wave off the interference penalty, but the Chiefs take a 4-3 lead.
So there was a flag down. So a little hitch, right? Gets a shot off the hold. Good save, but rebound. Di Tommaso there, picking up the loose change. One extra step, so patient.
I love the changing of levels, too.
Yeah, like you said, lacrosse family. Dad played at Hopkins. Uncle is probably 1 or 2 best defensemen to ever play. And, of course, they have an attackman in the family.
So you mentioned, right, even 3-3, probably Draper wouldn't be too upset. He's got to be thrilled right now, but there's still 3:50 left and another faceoff win by Accardo. He goes right to the teeth, though, super aggressive by Accardo, and it results in Gennady coming away with it, and a great pass as well to an open D'Alessandro. A huge hit at midfield and a flag. And this will be an interesting one here.
So Syosset was asking for a hold on that previous play on Accardo, and you mentioned about reining Catolo in. That was a pretty vicious hit. So a little scrap here, comes out the backside, and the idea of taking a run at somebody. Right, you see it here.
Yeah, that was with to his back as well. Catolo, 1 minute penalty. I think Draper and the Chiefs were hoping for more, maybe lock him in. but a man-up opportunity, only the third this game, second for Massapequa. Neither team capitalizing yet on the man-up.
SEAL team again for Syosset. This is where you got to rely on your man-down unit, and Finkelstein, feel like he's got to make a save here. A shot's going to be coming. Make a save, get it out, try to tie this game up.
Christie up top to Di Tommaso. He gets it back. You got to keep an eye out for Radomski at the crease. He's been so good there. Good job getting the stick in the passing lane, but picking it back up was Fitzpatrick.
Good stick, Zuleta getting a stick in the lane. A little skip look. So patient, Massapequa on the man up.
McDermott gets it back with 22 left on the man up.
Sometimes on man up you tend to force it. It's not a bad thing to kind of use the clock and then get your matchups and not take a shot just because you're man up.
Shot. Oh, there's the save in front. So you do get an attempt on Cage. Behind the back shot. Landing in the crease, I thought, right? Yeah, it was McDermott, so we'll go the other way.
That was a ridiculous save by Finkelstein. Fitzpatrick caught it, kind of slip cut on the man up, and Finkelstein did his best acrobatic move there and got a big chunk of it with his thigh.
His eighth. There's Zuleta. Good look by Zuleta. You get the clear. And now Syosset looking to tie the score again. Oh, it looks like they're going to be offside.
Good set by Zuleta. Tipped the pass down, cleared it. Good job by him.
So you got 7 defenders for Massapequa. Accardo. Lowers the shoulder. Double comes. Splits it. Fires it. Scores! They'll call it off, though.
Call a ward.
We'll see it again.
Accardo's so tough when he leans in there, get that leverage, and kind of runs through a double. I honestly have no idea what that call was. So the Farmingdale guys are lined up over there, and then they were hooting and hollering, I think, at the perhaps they have a rooting interest in this one. Wouldn't be shocked if the Dalers were rooting for the red team.
So it's a 30-second man up here for Syosset. And they had an interesting end of that game, as looking to shovel it there was Waxer into the stick, though, of Gennady, where they got called for a delay of game on a restart. And essentially it's more or less kind of how it ended for them. I mean, they did have one more opportunity later on, but they were cooking. They had all the momentum at that point. Just a lob downfield, looking to kill the penalty. Weisrich, though, gets the ground ball anyway. So they get the clear and the ball. Unsettled. Shot was saved. Also in the crease, though, was Durnin. Finkelstein again with the denial.
Some crazy athletic saves by him. Durnin comes in. Durnin had a hot hand, right? Finkelstein's hotter right now. On that last man up, Accardo, kind of a force. You'd like to work the ball a little bit more there for Syosset, but Finkelstein bails him out. They've been able to come back because he makes saves and keeps them in the game. So some tremendous athletic saves by him.
Here comes Birch with 43 seconds left. Oh, the look in front and the finish. We are tied again. It's Spencer Newman with the goal.
Newman, unbelievable. He's been a role. He's played D-midi. He's played all different positions. Here he is on the crease. Massapequa falls asleep. Right, you see him here. He's kind of hiding. He's open. Boom, catch. Quick stick. Low corner. Low and away. Face it off with Accardo. 38.6. Tied up for the Braves. Tremendous. It just everything seems to be working. Putting guys in spots. Syosset's doing everything they can to stay in this game and now tie it up and give themselves a great chance to win.
As you said, Newman, this is his third position, and I think he's found the one that's worked for him. That was goal number 15. Face-off win. Great stick check behind by Accardo. And it somehow pops back into the stick of Finkelstein. So Syosset, if they get the clear.
Numbers. They got numbers if they got it, if they want it.
And here they come. Great look. Accardo is hammered. Oh, what a check. And a late flag comes in as well. You saw the hit by Valentine. And the flag didn't come down right away. Let's see what this call is, as Accardo is down on the turf, took one to the shoulder.
So we had a relatively clean game. You were talking about how the previous had a whole bunch of fouls, and we see this third quarter, Syosset claws back, but we've also seen some hits and some flags, and hopefully everyone's okay. You'd like to see this game finished with the best players out there.
Wow. So this will be a headshot, and they're locking him in. This is with 9 seconds left. An unsportsmanlike conduct 2-minute penalty. Believe it's against Valentine. Accardo is up. But mark this down. What a moment this is in this game for Syosset. They are tied at 4. And with 2 minutes, they're not even going to take anything here, right? They'll take the ball to start the fourth quarter.
Accardo coming off the field, flexing his muscles, saying he's okay. Definitely not the guy you want to go into the fourth quarter without. For me, Accardo, fourth quarter, he's the guy, and he's got to try to lead them to this victory.
So Valentine in for 2 minutes. He is locked in. Final 9 seconds, and this is exactly what we thought would happen, right? You just keep the ball here. Waxer's got it. He'll let the clock wind down. They'll have a minute 51 of a man up, an unreleasable man up as well when we come back. It is 4-4 in the Nassau Class A semifinals. Final 12 minutes of regulation. You don't want to miss it. It's all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
That welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school.
We are back at Hofstra. Final 12 minutes of regulation time. We are tied at 4, and Syosset has a minute 51 of an unreleasable man-up situation to start the fourth quarter. These two teams have been part of a lot of one-goal games, and here's an interesting note. Look at the very bottom here. One-goal games this year. Massapequa 5-1. Syosset yet to win a one-goal game. What a time it would be, Brian Soper, to pull one out now.
And you get to start this quarter with a man up. They got a great look last time when they went man up. Accardo skipped it to Giovinco. Gennady was there for a save, but look for those two to find a connection to start this quarter.
There's Stadler. And again, you've got to defend him so we know he's getting pulled. Good look to the crease. Good job by Ricardo not forcing it, right? Good to see him also back in. We saw him flexing the muscles. Was down, had the trainer out after that hit by Valentine, which has him locked in now for the next minute 23.
Again, go for a shot, but don't take a bad one that leads to a quick transition outlet for Massapequa.
And nothing that Gennady can see. At least not see well, right? Wheel, that was a good shot and a better save by Gennady, denying Ricardo. And now, aggressive ride, and what a shot by Ricardo! And the Braves have taken the lead.
That's the guy. He has to lead them to victory. Gennady makes a sick top hand over save. Keep riding, right? Unbelievable ride. 5 guys in on the ride. Ricardo picks up this loose change. Look at this, right? Little pick up. Boom! Top corner. Yeah, buddy. Right, top corner. Kind of the same shot that Gennady just stuffed. Keep shooting, keep shooting, keep shooting. You know, make it, take it now, right? Win a face-off, get another possession here. Now you have a little unfamiliar for them. They got a lead. They got a lead. They're in the lead.
Ricardo's 32nd of the season.
Still locked in, right? That's a big call.
There's Fountain again on the face-off. Ooh, nearly losing it was I thought it was Giovinco for a second. Loose ball battle. That was Ostrander. It's still loose. Look at this battle. And it's won by Massapequa. And this is almost like an overtime setup. Once you get possession, you call the timeout. You saw Schiffel coming up with that ground ball. What it does do for you is, one, you get possession, and there's 35 seconds left on this unreleasable man up.
Important to save possession there, but one thing to think about is that you have 35 seconds. You have to keep it. Yeah, they're going to double you, but that's it for the Chiefs. No more timeouts. So they used one on the defensive end. They used one man down here. So in a 5-4 game, 10 minutes and 44 seconds, that's an eternity, right, to not have any timeouts.
And you coaches love to have that in your pocket, final 2-3 minutes of the game, right, when maybe something is a little bit hectic. You can settle things down, get the timeout. Maybe you get a similar type of ground ball off a face-off. So, yeah, that's a thing we got to keep an eye out here for the Chiefs going forward, because 10:44 is an eternity in a lacrosse game.
Definitely important there for you know, you don't want to give the ball to Syosset and let them get it on a man up. And you know, I think it's just showing trust in his team, Coach Draper, that whoever he gives it to here is probably going to be able to run through and handle double teams. You have Division I guys, and you know, these guys have won close games all year. So perhaps, you know, not having a timeout, they've been there before, so they know to keep it in the box and all that stuff that's going to happen late in the game.
Draper said the goal, of course, is to peak in May. He doesn't think to this point, coming into this game, that his team has played a complete game yet. He would like to see it all come together. And a takeaway from the last game, he said, we need to get in the hole and cut off Syosset's transition game. We need to make it a scrap on the face-off. Certainly they've done the second, and Syosset really hasn't hurt him too much, right, in the transition game either. So the Chiefs, for those keys, they've done well.
So Syosset is electing just to play it straight. Sometimes when you double team, you create some offense and you can give up a cheap one. So with a lead, Syosset's content here, letting Massapequa go even and playing 6-on-6.
And we are even now with Bernie coming out of the box after Valentine's penalty is up. Syosset did score that one goal by Ricardo, and they've got the 5-4 lead.
In the first half, we said it felt like forever that Syosset didn't have the ball. It seems like Massapequa hasn't had the ball for quite a bit.
And they had that 3-goal lead, right? 3-0 at halftime. So you could see how things have turned for Syosset here in the second half.
Syosset showing zone here.
Christie thought about it, pumps it back out to Bernie. Fitzpatrick.
Shows tremendous faith in your goalie. Finkelstein's seeing it well, so they're willing to give up these outside shots and to stop the dodging of the Chiefs.
McDermott back out to Christie. Oh, and there's Durnin again. That is his sweet spot. And Durnin's third goal of the game has tied the score at 5.
Last time Syosset went zone, you got the same look. This is a ridiculous pass by Christie. Kind of goes sidearm, submarine here. Great show by Durnin, sidearm. I mean, that's a shot pass. Durnin just shows so much aggression today to get to that middle of the field, and good finish to the opposite side. If he shoots that near side or shoots that kind of at his feet, Finkelstein's all over that. But good job getting to the middle and giving himself better angle.
23rd goal of the year by Durnin. Christie's third assist of the game. He's got 23 assists. And Accardo has another face-off win. Loses the lumber, though.
That's the advantage of facing off with Fountain. Fountain's one of the best defenders in Nassau County, and if Accardo picks it up, he can defend them. And little yard sale check there against a really good player.
The Chiefs had Syosset scrambling for a moment. They've recovered now, so they'll play more of that 6-on-6 set. Here is Bernie. He's got the short stick matchup, switches hands, back to his right. Bernie thought about it for a moment, and he'll kick it out to Radomski. We see him pop up all different places, all different positions. Patrick Radomski, the former head coach, Tim Radomski's son, so you know he's got that great lacrosse IQ. And here's the hot hand right now for the Chiefs, Durnin. Up top to Bernie, the junior bound for Stony Brook. Bernie saved, then kissed the post, and Finkelstein gets it in his crease.
Good save off hip. Good job by Bernie to kind of run through a check and keep taking that alley. Good shot, good save. Now Syosset has it.
Disqui. You've had 4 different goal scorers for Syosset. Newman, Giovinco, 5 different goal scorers. Newman, Giovinco, Waxer, Accardo, and Voigt. 7:22 left, fourth quarter. 10-on-10. Accardo feeds it to X. And there is Waxer. Remarkable to think, but he's just an 8th grader. That middle school that they play right behind the lacrosse field, that's where he attends class. And Gennady makes the save on Giovinco, and the backup wasn't there.
Giovinco got to the middle of the field with that left hand, and Gennady's there for that save. Great save, top hand, drove it across, and I think the Syosset guy might have been out of bounds before the ball went out, so he can't technically be closest to the ball.
So Pequot gets the clear. Radomski out of the box. 5-5 game with 6:35 left. Tell your friends, tell your family, tune in to Varsity Media for the final 6:23 of this one. It will be a classic.
Both goalies have been tremendous. 5-5, but it's not for lack of good shots or good opportunities.
Fitzpatrick, eyes up, looks for options. Here's McDermott and to Radomski. Radomski to X, to Durnin. He's got 3 for the Chiefs. Getting topside, firing it wide was Fitzpatrick. And the backup was there by a diving Durnin.
He doesn't need much space. That was a quick little shift, good hard shot with very little room. LIU Post is getting a good one there.
Off the restart. There is Radomski. Thought about the inside roll, kicks it, swings it. Kick save by Finkelstein. It pops all the way out. This is a huge ground ball. Malika looking for it. It's still loose. And what did they do here? Did they give Syosset a timeout? That ball was loose. Yeah, I think they got to talk this over. They never had possession, Brian.
Yeah, John Calabria saw when Zuleta kind of had it or was about to get it. He's running to the, for the playoffs, you have an official that's in the box. He's running to him, and John wasn't even watching the play, and I'm not sure if they're going to award him possession. If Zuleta had it, it wasn't for very, very long. So this is a big call here by the referees as they meet.
And what I love by Calabria here as well, right? He's still taking the timeout, right? Like, even if it's not going to be given, he's still taking the opportunity to talk to his guys. Draper on the other side complaining about the call. We don't obviously hear what the call is, but it does look like they'll award the timeout to Syosset. Did they say they didn't? And hard to say. It's still on the scoreboard. It's 2 timeouts.
It might be even go to like an inadvertent whistle where now all of a sudden you might go to alternate possession and that could be in Syosset's favor. That's my best guess.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're a head coach in this league. You would know better. I think it's a tough call against the Chiefs. They're riding aggressively. Birch gets the clear, bounces it ahead. This could be a big moment here in this game. Oh, what a stick check. Fantastic one by Schiffel.
Crazy how some like the weirdest plays all of a sudden create momentum. There's like a play with the referees, possession goes to Syosset, and now Massapequa looks like they're shot out of a cannon.
Well, after all that, doesn't matter. Chiefs have the possession. 5-5 with 4:45 left in the fourth quarter. The winner advances to the Nassau Class A championship game, May 31st, 8 o'clock start. McDermott.
Good job by Syosset. Catolo's so eager to slide, and the freshman there was there for the 2 slide. Durnan was chomping at the bit there for the slide to come.
Fitzpatrick denied. Another save by Finkelstein, and
I mean, is he a gymnast? His splits and every way you can save it, he's been saving it here.
Catolo loses his stick. He's got to rush back here. He had to get another twig from the sideline. He does and recovers.
Syosset bench has perhaps a little NASCAR pit crew. They changed that tire real quick.
And that's where the athleticism of Catolo comes in, right? The receiver that he is, he can get that new stick and get back into play without being punished for it. Under 4 to play, 5-5 is the score. Fitzpatrick. Ooh, tough pass to Christie. It was low and it was right into a whole bunch of poles. Ground ball picked up. And here comes Syosset. Calabria wants the timeout now. He's begging for it. And he'll get it. Meanwhile, up the field,
guys are laying all over the ground.
Ostrander is down.
Unbelievable scene here. That's an opportunity there. That was a 50-50 ground ball, right? So if in that half, if you have a timeout and Massapequa picks that up, you probably use it there. John has a timeout here and is able to save a possession here. 3:31, tie game. You want to get your offensive personnel on the field.
Ostrander, I believe, got that ground ball, and he is a freshman. So we knew about all the seniors, right, who graduated. Obviously, the alphas were A.J. Alexander and A.J. Buetti, who had so many big moments over the years for Syosset, but they were part of a very large senior class a year ago for Syosset, and that's been part of the thing. You see again here on the replay.
Yeah, huge save. Boom! Right, that's unbelievable. That's so good. That's so good, right, to get a piece of that.
And even Finkelstein, a lot of guys in their first year in these positions, And that's the thing. I said it all year long about these Braves. You just wondered when it was going to click, right? Because you saw those flashes in different games, and they were in every game, and all these one-goal games. And you wonder now if it has finally, all of that lacrosse they've played now, right? They're now a little more familiar. Calabria said, we think we now finally have those pieces. You play with the puzzle throughout the year, figuring where those pieces go. He thinks he's got it, or they've got it figured out now. And with 3:31, they've got the ball in a tie game.
I've seen Syosset a couple of times. This is a completely different Syosset team, especially in the second half, really super aggressive on offense. I was telling my guys today, by the time you get to this point, 8th graders and 9th graders, 9th graders and 10th graders, right, and seniors have so much experience that they're like college freshmen. So you grow up real fast in this game, and this is where it all pays off.
Here is Desqueeze. Got the shorty matchup. Desqueeze beats his man, fires it high, and I think Gennady makes the save. Ground ball picked up by Fountain.
Desqueeze been able to get to the net there, perhaps one more step. Tried to go short side, and it went outside.
So now Massapequa's got to get the clear, and they get it to Bernie. Bernie's such a great stretch shooter, has that wicked shot, but we know he can run for days as well. Here he is, getting it to Radomski, just out of the box. Radomski backs it up.
Good decision there. Don't want to force something. You want to get your offensive personnel and on the field, and really this is a really huge possession.
Oh, beating his man, going high post. Finkelstein, another save, denies McDermott.
McDermott, great move. Gets a step on Gomez. Save, pipe, something, maybe both, but Syosset has it.
13 saves now for Finkelstein, and they've all been of the let's show that replay kind of variety, right? He has been locked in here today in the Syosset cage, as we expected.
Huge. He's filling the shoes. Syosset's had a great run of tremendous goalies, right? From Fight from Loftus, Camposa, Oaks, just really good goalies, and Finkelstein is playing tremendous.
Stick in the passing lane, as we've said. That's been the calling card for this defense. A fantastic one there by Schiffel. He has had his hands all over this fourth quarter here for the Chiefs. If they win this game, he's got to be one of the stars. Radomski, step down, shot wide.
Syosset caught a little bit there, changing or down a guy. That's Radomski's sweet spot. Just shoots it wide. When a goalie's hot, you almost aim in your shots.
Remember here too, no timeouts for Massapequa. 1 timeout on the board for the Braves. Final 1:10 to go in regulation time.
One more stop. All right, Finkelstein's got to get one more stop here for Syosset.
Bernie spins. Under a minute to go. Bernie wide of the mark. Switched hands, but the bouncer went wide.
Good move. All those Massapequa middies have the ability to get to the middle of the field, and that makes it tough.
Here is McDermott. Back to Radomski, 48 seconds.
They just subbed Christie, getting a fresh midi out there, 44 seconds.
Christie, look, that's where Durnan's been so dangerous this time. The poles collapse on him. Back to Christie, open player on the far side, but taking away was Finkelstein. The pass was going to McDermott, but Finkelstein took it away.
He was wide open, interception, Finkelstein.
Calabria speeds up the field, gets the timeout called. 22.8 to go.
Save it, pick it off, right? What else does Finkelstein need to do for the Braves? Keeping them in there, really digging in on defense, Syosset. And you get a chance to hear 22.8 to win the game.
Here it is again. Watch Finkelstein.
Like under move here, slide. Yeah, he got it. Well, he got all of it. I apologize for saying that any pipe was involved there. He got all. He ate that one, and
then he gets the pass across the way as well to steal that here to give Syosset the possession. You mentioned the goalies and the lineage of great goalies in Syosset. Finkelstein, the junior going to Binghamton, is the 12th Division I goalie, and John Calabria is 23 years.
one of my first coaching jobs was with Syosset, was with Jimmy Lubin, who's unsung. He was an all-county goalie right when Rob Camposa and Loftus and those guys just kind of set the tone, and then Fight and Hopkins, just great lineage. It's tremendous to have that confidence in a goalie. You can switch defenses, you can do everything as a coach when you trust the goalie in the net.
All right, so 22-8. Is it first good look or take it down to the final seconds? Here's Accardo, gets the clear.
He's got to win a matchup. I think it's zone.
Waxer up top. That shot got blocked in front. Ground ball picked up by D'Alessandro. And here come the Chiefs. Can they get one off? 4 seconds. The look across the way. It won't matter. It'll be offside against the Chiefs. So 0.8 to go, which certainly shouldn't be enough time to get a goal here. Finkelstein will take a look. He's been so good, why not? Just lobs one downfield. Gennady takes make sure he gets that ball into his stick, and we have got overtime.
One thing we know for sure, we mentioned it in the beginning and throughout the game, we have another one-goal game.
Yeah, so again, 4 one-goal losses for Syosset. 9-8 out south side, 11-10 at Port, 9-8 home for Farmingdale, and 9-8 in the regular season matchup with the Chiefs. Now, overtime games, Massapequa's got a little bit of an edge there, at least having played them in the regular season. Of their 5 one-goal wins, they had an overtime win against Wantagh and an overtime win at Port.
And I think those games, overtime winners went like McDermott, Fitzpatrick, and then the game we did at Port, it was Christie on one of his first games back from injury. So that's the thing about Massapequa in the overtime. They don't seem to care who it's going to be, and they're going to work for a good opportunity.
We'll show you the bracket and kind of what awaits the winner of this one. And you see there, it's been chalked to this point, 1-4-2-3. The winner will take on the winner of our next game between Farmingdale and Port Washington. And that one is May 31st under the lights here at Hofstra, 8 o'clock start. And that's for the county championship. Both of these teams have won so many of them throughout the years. Massapequa, 11-time county champions. Syosset having won 6, all under the lineage of John Calabria. The lights are on here at Stewart Stadium. Who will shine brightest here in overtime?
Who's going to make a name for themselves, right? Massapequa, the Zashes, the Kirbys, the Birches, right? You got Kincannon, O'Keefe, right? All these
they probably wish they still had
legendary guys,
here
but
yeah,
but some name now is gonna be etched in stone here as winning the game at Hofstra under the lights semifinals.
Accardo gets the face-off win. Calabria calls the timeout, and the same could be true for Syosset, right? You've got the O'Keefes, the Kincannons, and on with so many great players, the most recently the Buettis and Alexanders of the world. And again, this has been a team that's been battling all year. It's hard to replace that many seniors, right? You can't pick up guys in a trade, right? This is not the PLL. You've got to deal with what you've got. And not only do you have first-year starters, but you even have older guys who didn't have that experience because the seniors were so good on last year's county championship team.
That's one thing that John mentioned to me earlier in the season. He goes, maybe last year we had all these guys and we didn't develop the guys who were the backup guys, and I think that's why it took a little while to move some pieces around. But I've never seen Coach Calabria so confident. He's like, we've gotten so much better this year, and he expected them to really compete here, and they have.
As I said, he said that I think we've got a lot of things worked out over the course of the season. We feel like we've got our guys in the right spots to be at our best. And he said this was a one-goal game in the regular season.
Man to man.
Here is Waxer. Voigt back to the 8th grader, up to Accardo, nearly picked off by the opposing 10, Schiffel. Schiffel will go with him the entire way. Accardo hands it off. There is Giovinco. And it's Waxer now.
This is unbelievable. So
next goal wins.
Tension,
Voigt.
I feel it up here.
Hands off, open shot, Accardo wide.
That's the guy you want shooting if you're Syosset, right? You can't leave him that open. I don't care how far out it is. You know, here's a kid looking to make a name for himself, right? Already has, but to you know, kind of finish this year on a high note.
Back to X we go. A lot of movement off ball for the Braves.
Just love this point when both the teams that are playing next, they're all huddled on the fences watching. It's just an unbelievable atmosphere.
Voigt up top. Accardo gives it back to Voigt. To X to Giovinco. He'll play catch there with Waxer. Waxer looks to dodge. Pumps the brakes. And back to Giovinco.
So for both sides, it's just win your matchup. You know, Massapequa's playing man-to-man.
Desquee's got the shorty matchup. Good slide to him. Back to Accardo, and it's Desquee. Accardo. Back out to Desquee. We did see that shot attempt, so no stall warning to this point for the Braves. Waxer looks for options. Backtracks, and here he goes. Turns, there's a player down. It's Newman at the crease, so Waxer's got to back it up again. Make sure guys make the right runs. Double comes. Back out to Accardo. Luca Accardo. Goal! Accardo wins it for Syosset!
Your big guys step up at big time. At big times, none bigger than that Hofstra. Just takes it to the rack, shoots it 5-hole, game winner, ices it for the Braves.
The celebration is on behind the goal. Here we see it again. Watch 10. You talk about win your matchups. That's what he does here. Gets the screen up top, and he does the rest.
So it was a good job. Kind of a dummy pick there, and then I think it was, Giovinco who cleared through at a perfect time, kind of taking that slide away, and that guy knows how to finish the ball. Kind of got caught. Massapequa got caught, kind of showing hard on the adjacents, and it gave Accardo a step, which he never relinquished, and used that step to get his hands free and finish.
Luca Accardo, his second goal of the game, goal number 33 on the season. None bigger, Brian Soper, than that one. As Syosset, we said how dangerous they were. They were trying to figure things out. Well, guess what? The defending Nassau champions can get a chance to play in the championship game again. And Luca Accardo was a big reason why.
Hats off to both teams for a tremendous game. But that's a tremendous win for Syosset. And the first guy shaking hands up there, Finkelstein. If you're looking for someone to really point to that this victory, he was tremendous for Syosset today.
I think in all of the celebration, there's an injured... I think it might be just be cramping. Is that Accardo still? No, it's Newman. As the players still making their way to the handshake line. And listen, 0-4 in 1-goal games in the regular season. Calabria thought they had it figured out. I think the head coach knows what he's talking about.
And I think that's a mindset too. I'm sure Coach Calabria used that as motivation throughout the week, saying we just got to keep this close and we got to figure out how to win a close game. And how do you do that? You do that with great goaltending. You do that with the second half, the faceoffs, I think, slanted towards Syosset's way, and just great patience offensively.
So Syosset celebrates, and they advance to the Nassau Class A Championship. Who will they play? Well, that game comes up in about 30 minutes' time. It's the second-seeded Vikings of Port Washington against the third-seeded Dalers of Farmingdale. That game, again, will start opening face-off in about 34 minutes or so. Brian Soper, if that matches what we've had here for the first one, man, we might need an IV drip here. Just we are so excited here. What a great first semifinal game. And Mike Hungerford leading his Dalers to the field for semifinal game number 2. That'll do it here from game 1 for us. I want to thank our entire Varsity Media crew, of course, executive producer Ben Turchin, our technical director, Chris Sweeney, as well as Mike Verdi and Ron Pierre, giving you all the moving images. For my broadcast partner, Brian Soper, Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us here from Hofstra, and we look forward to seeing you again in about 30 minutes' time.